Okay, this is chapter 3, lessons 1, 2, kind of a review guide. Nice way to get ready for a test or something like that. I'm doing the odds, so the evens are kind of on you, all right? So I'm going to start with this first one. Ryan's been riding our unicycle for at least, keep in mind, at least 5 years. So I'm going to put R for Ryan. When it says something at least, that means he could be more than 5 years. So it can be greater than or equal to 5 years. Okay. Number 3, it says the sum of 7 and a number, 7 plus n number, we don't know what it is at most negative 18. So the biggest it's going to be, so it's got to be less than negative 18. So at most negative 18. Okay. Could it be negative 18? Is at most, which means it could also be negative 18 if you look at it like that, right? Number 5. A number is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 3. So 0 is greater than that, so I put n. This is tricky. But then he's less than or equal to 3. So he's less than or equal to 3. All right, that makes sense, right? Let's try number 7. Write each as a sentence. C, or a number, right? I'm going to write down a number is greater than or equal to 7. Pardon the handwriting, right? I think I started too far over, right? T, a number divided by 7 is less than or equal to 22. So that seems pretty easy, right? So that's all those guys. If I scroll down, right? Let's look at the next crew down here. We'll start with 11 all the way down to 23. We're staying odd, so this will be easy. Here's negative 5. Here's minus 4. Which one's bigger? Well, because it's negative, the 4 is going to be bigger than the 5. So the point is going to go towards negative 5. Minus 9 plus 12 would be, if you can figure this out, it's 3. 5 minus 8 is minus 3. So this is the bigger one. 12 divided by 2, 10. Pardon me. And minus 15 divided by minus 5, negative divided by negative equals a 3. That would be that answer right there. Okay? Tell whether the inequality is true or false in each of the given statements. So we're subbing this number in for this guy. So this is fairly simple, right? So I put negative 4 is less than or equal to negative 4. Well, that would be true, right? Minus 12 times v, which is 3. Minus 12 times 3 is minus 36. Does not equal 24. Well, that's true as well. That's not bad. 36 divided by g, and g is 4. So I do 36 divided by 4. Well, that's going to give me 9. Is 9 less than 8? No, that's false. That does not make sense. Next one, q minus 11 is greater than minus 2. Well, let's put this in here. First, I'm going to put minus 12. I'm going to put down here so I get a little room. Minus 11 makes that plus 11 is greater than minus 2. Well, if you put these together, you get a minus 1. Is that greater than minus 2? Well, yes, it is. We put a true on that. Nice. Okay. Straightforward. Let's go down to the next one. Okay. And, everybody loves these because you just tell me the solution set. Do the first one. So we're doing 25, 27, 29, 31. So of these numbers, which ones are greater than or equal to 6? Well, I got negative 2 all the way up to 7. It'll be these two guys. So I'm going to put down 6 and 7. How do we know? Well, 6 is greater than or equal to 6, and 7 is greater than or equal to 6, right? That's pretty straightforward. Let's do 27. D is greater than 4. Look at all these numbers. 4 is the highest we go, so none of them work. So you can either do this, put a 0, put a slash through it, or you can do this, make an empty set. How about this one? It says B is greater than 9. Are any of these numbers greater than 9? 8's the highest, so that would be an empty set as well. So we put that in there, and then there. It seems like all the ones I picked have empty sets so far. E is greater than 2. Well, none of these are greater than 2. So this is pretty much a wash on this one. You're not getting much from me, but that's okay, right? Let's look at this next one. It's 33, okay? It says, I guess I can erase this and slide down. That was not much going on in that group right there, so let's do this. It says x is less than minus 4. And we're going to graph them on a number line. So let's go ahead and put these up. So I'm going to put a number line here, right? Number line here, number line here, and number line here. This is how I like doing my number lines. You can do them any way you want. I make mine kind of simple, right? I'm very easy. I'm making a batch of them all at once because I'm, why stress myself out, okay? And I get to make a decision on these things as I go. I know I have to have -4 here. This one I'm going to have 2. This one I have -6. And the last one I'm going to have 9. And I know I'm going to put a circle in there. Whether or not I fill it in is depending on how it's stated, okay? So look what I'm doing. I'm getting myself all prepped up. And then I'm going to take my line tool, and I'm going to make it a little thicker. I'm going to see what I do here. X is less than -4. Well, here's -4. This is less than it. So I'm going to go this way and then make an arrowhead. Boom. X is less than or equal to 2. Since it's less than or equal to 2, I can color this thing in, right? And then it's going this way. So, boom. X is less than 6. So I can't fill it in, but I can go like this, right? -6. And 9 is less than or equal to, wait a minute, X is greater than that. I almost made a mistake. It's a good thing I went back and looked at it real quick. So X has to go this way, right? Right? Let's put that line tool here. It's got to be bigger than -6, so it's going to go this way. Aha, tricky. This one, X is greater than 9. This one's going to be going this way too. And check it out. This is greater than or equal to, so I can color this guy in, right? So that circle's colored in. Makes sense? Well, I hope so, right? So that's those guys. Yeah, I don't think I made any other mistakes, so I think I'm good, right? Let's look at the next page. Write out an inequality describing these things. Once again, I'm just doing the odds with you. So this one would be X. That's too big. Let's move back a little bit here. All right. I can sit there and say X is less than or equal to -2. Why? Well, it's a solid circle, and then it's pointing back. So we can say it's less than or equal to -2. Look at this one. X is greater than or equal to -1 because it's going in the opposite direction. It's solid. That's how that works. This one says X is less than or equal to 4. This very last one, look, it's -3, but see how it's hollow? So we're going to say X is less than -3. Now let's talk about Michaela. She sells each handmade bracelet for $5. She spends $20 on material. How many bracelets does she need to sell to make more than the amount she spent on supplies? So we can sit there and say, $20, right? And we know how many she buy? Well, we don't know. We're trying to figure that out. But she knows that every one costs $5. So it goes 5 times N, right? Which says, how many bracelets does she need to sell to make up more than the amount she spent? Okay? So this has to be more, right? So for it to be more than the amount she spent, You got to think of it like this, right? It has to be greater, right? This has to be greater, not equal to 20, more than what she spent. It has to be greater than 20. Okay, this pretty much covers all these things, the odds. Hopefully this was helpful, and it makes the evens much easier to do.